busy. I've just spent 4 hours burying the cat. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth, number 100. I'm going to limit myself to one topic this evening because it seems to be one that is very keen to everyone, and that is war in Gaza. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the war raging in the Gaza Strip, with Israel attacking massively with airstrikes and poised to send in ground troops. I want to talk more broadly about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and how it is usually misrepresented in the news media in this country and probably throughout the world. There are a lot of people, I'm sure, who have the belief that Israel should not even exist. There are some Arabs and others who believe that the Israeli state was enacted illegally and took over land that was not theirs, and thus should not exist as a nation. To all of them I say it's pointless to argue that point any longer, because Israel does exist, it is there, and it must be dealt with. It's recognized by other countries around the world, and therefore it has to be met on its own terms. But there are some things that need to be set straight, okay? Israel claims it is attacking terrorists, okay? Hamas, a terrorist group, which, nonetheless, the people of fucking Palestine, the Palestinians, voted in a democratic fashion to have these people lead them, okay? So this is the elected leadership of the Palestinian people that the Israelis are directly attacking. Now, that sounds like regime change to me. The exact same thing that we did in Iraq, which I deplore as well. So, if Hamas is a terrorist group, which it very well may be, and it certainly is conducting what might be termed terrorist actions by firing rockets into Israel and killing, injuring people and destroying property, then one must look also back into the history of Israel and realize that Israel was founded on terrorism. Zionist terrorism. First against the British, and then against the Arabs. And a lot of times this activity was carried out by Zionists, whether Jews or not, to further the aims of creating and maintaining a Zionist state of Israel in that region. Another thing that needs to be cleared up, because some people are fucking stupid and don't realize this, there are Palestinians, because for 2,000 years and more, that area where Israel was and where Israel is was called Palestine. The people that lived there were Palestinians. So let's get over the fact that there's no such thing as fucking Palestinians. Okay? The Palestinians are real. They're real people. They lived there. They still live there. Okay? Now, what Israel is doing is, in my view, a terrorist action directed against the ruling party of a group of people who elected these people to represent them and to be their leaders. And furthermore, they're going further by attempting to decimate the entire population of the Gaza Strip so they do not have to deal with the Palestinian problem. Okay? But what is the Palestinian problem? It goes beyond Israel and Palestine and the Palestinians. It's also an Arab problem. But I don't see any Arabs jumping in and offering places for the Palestinians to settle. Let's not forget that King Hussein threw the PLO out of Jordan. Okay? So, we have animosity here that goes back many years between the Arabs and the Palestinians. And when the PLO left Jordan, they went into Lebanon, which led to that country's destruction. And now, the Palestinians occupy the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and some other areas. But mostly those two. And all of a sudden, people talk about this as being an Israeli-Palestinian problem, but it's really an entire Middle East problem. But until the Arabs and the Arab nations quit using the fucking Palestinians when it suits them and decide to actually take a hand in doing something to help that people, no one is ever going to have a resolution to the fucking problem. Okay? So yes, I'm going to make this clear so everyone understands, okay, where I stand on this issue. What Hamas, the terrorists, are doing by firing rockets into Israel, killing, injuring people, destroying property, is a terrorist act. Israel has a right to defend itself. They do not have a fucking right to completely wall off an entire group of people and attempt to destroy them completely by denying them basic human necessities. And I don't care if Hamas is putting missile launching sites in residential areas or whatever. The fact of the matter is, Israel has blockaded the entire Gaza Strip. That means women, children, elderly, everybody is being affected by this. And that is clearly fucked up. Okay? So Hamas is wrong. Israel is wrong. And the Arabs are fucking wrong too, because they do nothing but use the fucking Palestinians as a club against Israel and in the world marketplace of ideas. So until people grasp the entire scope of this fucking problem, there is never going to be a fucking resolution to this. And war is going to continue, and it's going to keep going on, because everybody is just trading blows now. You attack me and kill my fucking children. So now I'm going to attack you and hopefully take out some of you guys. Well, a top Hamas leader was supposedly killed today in an airstrike. So, and on and on and on it fucking goes. Get your facts straight whenever you're dealing with the history of that area, and realize that when you're talking about one thing, it may mean something completely else. So don't try to talk about something unless you know what you're talking about. Now, before you jump on me, I don't know every fucking thing either. Okay? But I do know a little bit of the history of the area. And you have to have some grasp of the creation of that entire fucking mess over there by the British before World War II, and then the British mandate to bring about the state of Israel, and then the backstabbing and the fucking conniving that went on with promises made and promises broken by the British and by others after World War I and just prior to World War II. There's a lot of fucking bullshit that went on over there, and it's still happening today. Unless you realize the true history of what's going on over there, you can't really say somebody's a fucking terrorist and Israel is just doing what it can to try to cope and live peacefully with their neighbors. Because that's a bunch of bullshit too. That's not the whole story. The whole story is much more complicated. Thank you. Good night.